What is going on, everybody? So today I want to talk about Emperors in the New World because I think your opportunity has already passed you by to get this box at the bottom. And what I mean by that is I don't think we're going to see this box get any cheaper anytime soon unless there's another reprint. You can see here on TCG Player, this box did have a reprint. It's basically confirmed at this point. Lots of boxes were hitting LGSs, online stores, and it was a race to the bottom there for about a week. You could see maybe not a week, maybe closer to a month, but you could see here we were around $200 mid-May, came all the way down to around $160-ish at its low, and we're already back over $170. And there are consistent sales all day long at this price point. And I was curious about this too, because I wanted to see what happened to OPO5. And it's fairly similar. I mean, it's difficult to zoom in just because we need to see the 1-year graph to see where the reprint took place. But you can see last year, around July 1st, it was $230 USD per box. And then if we go forward a couple weeks later, you were at the bottom, $125, $130 USD. But then a week later, a week and a half later, you're already back up into the 150s. And since then, I mean, it's just steadily climbed into the $260-ish range. And we still see a lot of sales on Awakening of the New Era at $260 on TCG Player. And before OPO9 was released, this was probably the best set out there. And before OPO5 came out, the best set was probably Romance Dawn. And if you guys remember, this did get a huge reprint. These boxes came down in price. We got the white bottoms for the Wave 2. And these start out around $250. I believe blue bottoms were up to like $400 or $500 at one point, came down to around $200-ish. And these have just steadily climbed over the past year, up almost 100%. So not a bad return for a 12-month period on a booster box. But point being, a lot of these boxes like Romance Dawn, especially Awakening of the New Era, and now Emperors in the New World OPO9. These stronger sets are proving to be quite resilient, and whatever supply hits the market gets scooped up quite fast, and we start to see that booster box price rebound. Now, my guess would be if we don't get more supply this year, this is going to be over $200 by the end of the year, probably even a lot higher. It could even be up to $220, $230. Who knows what's going to happen? It really is a dark horse in the sense that some older sets like Romance Dawn, OPO5 probably should see better appreciation, especially O1, just because that's going out of rotation next year. OPO5, again, we could still get a reprint on it. Who knows what's going to happen there? But O9 is just such a deep set that it could just continue to climb. We will look at some of these cards too. I mean, we've talked about these a lot. The Gold Roger, there's no new sales. We did have that $2,000 BGS 9.5 that sold on TCG Player. The Monkey D. Luffy manga, we actually got a couple more sales recently, both yesterday, $941.80 and $900 exactly. So still holding around $900. And I would think that a lot of these cards would start to come down in price if there's more O9 on the market, more is being ripped. And we are seeing it with a couple cards here. Like already the Teach manga is coming down. This was up to, I think, around $850-ish, or maybe even $750-ish. Most recent sales here, $645 and $640. That $640 sale is from yesterday, or when you're watching this, might be 2 days ago, depending on where you live in the world. But this manga has definitely fallen off a bit. The Shanks, we've seen no new sales. The most recent one was around that 700. The Buggy is still holding fairly strong. I was questioning, and you guys can let me know in the comments down below, if this card is in meta, because if we go look at some of these leader cards here, the Buggy has moved from around $24 early May up to around $40-ish now, and still selling quite consistently, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 10 sales today, and most of them are in that $35 to $40-ish range. So I think this card might get some play. I could be wrong about that. I actually pulled this card out of a box. I also pulled this Nico Robin alternate art card. And the reality is when a reprint comes, these kind of middle tier cards that add some depth to a set, these are normally the ones that get hit the hardest, especially if they don't have any level of playability to them. You also have some parallel, I believe this is a leader card. We have a Zoro too. A lot of these cards are starting to see a bit of a pullback. Keep an eye on the wanted posters as well. The Shanks, this one was around $96 on TCG Player, but most recent sales are $91, $92, $94. So We are starting to see it slowly pull back this week. The Monkey D. Luffy, this card was around $150, but most recent sales here, 130, 130, and 125. And those sales are all from the past couple days. So the sets like this, getting a reprint, anything outside, I think like the manga cards and the top hits are probably fair game to see decent pullbacks. But I think all of these should be fairly safe from total collapse. Obviously, I do expect some of them to pull back, and that's just natural. I think this $2,000 sale is way too low. Probably should just be closer to like 2,800 in my mind. But it also depends on how much is actually being opened, right? Like if everyone's just buying up these boxes for investment purposes, buying up the cases, and we're not seeing a ton being ripped, then these prices in theory could stay fairly high. Now, I do want to end this video just talking about one thing from my spreadsheet. If you guys are in the spreadsheet, and I got an email today, so I did want to address this. Someone was asking me in the future if I was planning to track like some of the top cards in One Piece, because I'm just currently doing the booster boxes. I am planning to start tracking the manga cards of all the sets. We're going to be ranking them from most expensive to least expensive. And I might eventually have to get to a point where I just do like the top 10 or top 20. That's kind of what I do with Pokemon right now. The special illustration rares, that's basically all of the Scarlet and Violet era, your rare cards. I'm only doing the top 20 every single month. And then the same thing with alternate art cards from Sun and Moon era and Sword and Shield, just the top 20. So I'm probably going to do something similar with One Piece cards, the mangas I'll start off with, and maybe in the future, if the spreadsheet grows and it gets more support, I might even do like special rares or secret rares, stuff like that as well. But if you guys were thinking about getting OP09, this is probably a decent time to get some boxes. Check your local LGS, check Shopify in the country where you live. I've seen in New Zealand, there are a couple stores selling around 180, 185 Canadian. Here in Canada, and this is the thing that actually really bothered me about this reprint, is we saw no pullback in prices anywhere. I was trying to buy more of this, but before the reprint, we're seeing boxes around $240-ish Canadian. And then even after this reprint, after we've seen this price come down on TCG Player, the lowest you can find is still like $239.99. So there has been absolutely no change for Emperors in the New World in Canada, and that's frustrating. I think part of that might have to do with tariffs. I honestly do not know like who distributes to where and then where it ultimately ends up. Like I don't know if it directly goes into Canada from Japan or if it's going from Japan to the US to Canada. I'm not exactly sure. If you guys know, definitely feel free to leave a comment and educate me. But either way, if you guys are in other parts of the world, it may be a good time to load up on this if you can find a decent price. With all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We're going to be doing a One Piece booster box update in the spreadsheet looking at secondary market data. It's also going to be the first week I do an average sale price for all the boxes, and I'm going to be including auctions and not just buy it now. So we should get a little bit more accurate data, at least in North America, and try and figure out what's going on there. If you guys are looking to get deeper into One Piece or Pokemon, you're looking to start a business, maybe you're trying to figure out whether you should start a YouTube channel, create content, I have a consultation link down below. You can book some one-on-one time and I can help you figure out all your issues and get you sorted. Stay safe wherever you guys are in the world, and I'll catch you in the next one.